Welcome to One Me TV show. We're here again with our another true life story. My name is Stella. I came across your blog recently, and I must say, I wish I discovered lively stories earlier. I see what you're doing to advise people. Well done. This life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes life challenges hit you so hard you begin to question your morals and beliefs in life. I am a 46 years old married woman. I've been married to the love of my life for 13 years. If you do the math, you will see that I married when I was over 30. So some of the challenges I faced in my marriage, I attributed it to not marrying on time, knowing I was wrong, as in totally wrong. When I married my husband, Fidel, like I said, he was the love of my life. He did not have much, but he was the sweetest and most romantic guy I ever met. Aww. I fell head over heels in love, and we were determined to make it together. I had some money of my own. We invested in starting business. We built our small empire. By the grace of God, we have properties, cars, and businesses. But the problem was I couldn't conceive. Even with all the resources we had, IVF did not work for us. In other words, they did IVF and it failed. My husband was very sweet and supportive, always telling me to trust in God, that God will bless us with our own child one day. By the 8th year of our marriage, I suggested that we should adopt a child while we were still waiting. My husband said, let's wait a bit. That if we don't conceive by the time he clocked 45, we can adopt. The idea was, let us wait a little more, but before the end of that year, tragedy struck. I caught my husband cheating with my own secretary. I was hot. My husband cried and begged for forgiveness. We went to counseling and we worked it out. After counseling, I noticed my husband was not happy as before. Our communication broke down. It was like something died in the marriage. I think he started facing depression. I followed the advice of our therapist and I told him, let's adopt a child. Perhaps a child will heal whatever is broken in our marriage. My husband said he does not want to adopt because adoption feels like we do not trust God and that we had given up. And again, listened to him and forgot about the adoption. A few months later, my husband came to me and said he wanted to tell me how he was feeling, that he loves me and does not want to hurt or betray me, but that he had been struggling with the idea that he may never have a child because I cannot give him one. Ooh. My husband said if I agreed that he would like to try another woman to see if the woman can conceive. I was numb. My husband was telling me, asking me to give him permission to fuck another woman so he can have a child. My people. Well, I told him no way, that if he does that we are done. He kept silent, but then he stopped talking to me altogether. We would not speak to each other for weeks. Then he started keeping late nights. He was getting drunk. He blamed me for his depression. I thought long and hard. I cried and prayed, and then I eventually called him and told him I've agreed for him to try and impregnate another woman. He was grateful and told me that he would never love any other woman but me, no matter if the woman gives him a child. So I asked him, who will the woman be? He said, my former secretary. I should have known, but my husband explained that it would be better with her, cause he knows her, and that when he was having an affair with her, she got pregnant, but he had to abort it because of me. But I should have known that the fact that he suggested her meant he had not gotten over her. I agreed reluctantly and told him that he can sleep with her, but I would not allow him to marry her. He agreed. My husband became himself again. He was lively and happy. In fact, our sex life improved. A few months later, he told me the secretary was pregnant. I was so full of regret but happy that my husband would not be without his heir. My husband then said we can now adopt. I adopted a baby girl while the secretary gave birth to a baby boy. It was an unusual arrangement, but at least we managed to be happy by it. I started noticing that my husband loved to spend a lot of time with his baby mama instead of our adopted daughter. I was pained with jealousy, but I kept calm. Then I started seeing the secretary's social media pictures of her and my husband and the baby like a perfect family. Somebody say wege. Say wege. Should I stop here? Should I do another video of the part 2? Okay, let's stop here. I'm making another video of the part 2.